On 11th to 12 September 2012, representatives of diverse civil society organizations, government, development partners, private sector, academia and citizens met at Hotel Africana in Kampala for the Open Development Stakeholders Workshop. The objective was understanding the open development landscape and issues in Uganda and proposing a program focus, strategy and design. Recognizing the positive steps that the Uganda government has taken in promoting transparency and good governance as enshrined in the Constitution and other regulatory and policy frameworks, delegates nevertheless underscored the importance of putting in practice the several statutory pronouncements that government has into the Access to Information Act, the Constitution and other government documents.
Because the Freedom of Information Act that was passed in 2005 for Uganda, which presents a very unique opportunity for Uganda as a country in Africa to be able to actually push open data and for its preparedness. But then the challenge is up to what level has this act and law been enforced, because it allows citizens to have access to information. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really push the government institutions to give information. So is there also a way that it can be amended to give that inclusion that every public institution should essentially make its information public without giving all the hurdles which have to be encountered by the citizen to actually get the information?
Uganda's constitution is very clear on the issue of open access to information, including data. This is to enable citizens to participate in their own development. While the legal process has advanced in the country, practically this is not working very well yet. And part of the reason for that is because there is slow movement and sluggishness in government institutions, especially in the executive, but also amongst key sector ministries.
Access to Information Act 2005 is meant to operationalize the access of information to the public as per Article 41 of the Constitution. Now the challenge is you find that in some departments, ministries, departments and agencies, they don't have the desired caliber of an information officer or IT officer who would be able to actually correlate information and disseminate it to the public. So what government needs to do is basically to look into the issue of IT officers across all ministries and development agencies and departments and agencies to ensure that information can seamlessly be delivered to the public. And that information ranges from information on agriculture, information on health, and so on and so forth. To give a clear example, we have NARO as one of the super agencies that perform research. They've got a lot of good data, they have a lot of good information, good findings, and that information is not disseminated to the public. Indeed, it's just lying on shelves in NARO itself.
One of the discussions about open government. Government should give out information openly so that citizens or other development partners can use this information. Accessing information from government is not so easy. You have to create those relationships so that you get information. Sometimes when you go to a ministry where you don't know anyone, you might find it difficult to access even a public document, because whatever is published there should be a public document.
The workshop further highlighted the importance of civil society, development partners and private sector opening up as well, as these efforts work better when all stakeholders with shareable information pool their efforts together.
Information is one of the most important public goods for decision making, and if that information is not available, if it's not durable, if it's not rigorous, and if it's not presented in ways that people can make it accessible, then those that are in positions of power in particular will tend to make decisions in their own way, and they will also tend to make it difficult for others to see where they might be failing.
People have not yet understood that information is power. You use information to influence even the way you think, the way you relate with others.
The conference ended with the Easterners agreed to establish a web portal where all sorts of development information on agriculture, health, education, energy will be displayed so that anyone who needs the data can access it. It will espouse robust data collection, access and use, as well as a feedback mechanism that allows interface with the producers and users.
Open development is about a different way of doing business to achieve the development goals of the country. It's about getting a number of actors to use very fast-changing technology to solve development problems.
When you talk about open data, open government, open development, the issue of technology comes in, but to put it in a clear way, these issues are not about ICT alone. They are about sharing data among different stakeholders. And so whether you use IT to share this data or not, that is an
open data initiative to be advanced in Uganda, you of course, or anywhere else for that matter, you need a champion, someone who's able to take liability or to risk, whatever challenges come with opening up data, with starting this kind of a movement. So you need someone, who is like what we have, Dr. Bisange Nemo, who's the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Information and Communication, someone who's, switched on and understands the reason behind open data and who has a passion for it.
A set of players is relevant for open development, and each has a unique role to play. So at the government level, and even at the donor level, I think the role is not to solve problems, but to ask questions and offer problem statements to solve. So you can imagine this in the context of hackathons, contests, to say, here's my problem in the water sector, I need to be able to measure drainage, I need to be able to understand the most dangerous areas in an unplanned community, and I want to use technology to do it. And then you offer prizes, you offer money or support to technologists to build and solve those problems. Now, civil society can play that mediating role by connecting technologists who have skills and energy to government problems that are in the public interest to solve. So I think there needs to be a very symbiotic, very connected relationship for open development.
The conference also ended with a call to action to all stakeholders to fast-track openness as a way of promoting transparency, accountability, thereby improving development outcomes.